Hello and welcome to the Grab Bag of Holding. This series sees a random item pulled from the magical artifact known as the Grab Bag of Holding and is shown off to you. Some of the items that appear in this series may be nothing more than trinkets and others may be cornerstones of existence. If the creators of the item are known, they will be credited as such, all rights in regards to the item belonging to them. Let's reach inside and see what comes out. Ah yes, I wondered if one of these would appear one day. Let us take a look at one of the greatest instruments of death I have ever seen, the Death Note. Amidst the veiled realms where mortals dare not tread, where the whispers of unseen spectres coil through the fabric of existence, there exists a relic of unfathomable power, a book of judgment, a tome of finality. It is known by many names in hushed legends, but among those who have glimpsed its dreadful authority, it is simply called the Death Note. Bound in unassuming black, its leather-like cover bears no ornament save for the stark white inscription of its name, a title as simple as it is terrifying. To the unknowing, it appears as nothing more than an ordinary notebook, its pages blank and unremarkable. But those who dare to open its cover will find written within a law that transcends mortality itself. The human whose name is written in this note shall die. The Death Note is no mere artifact of man, its origins lie within the shadow dominion of the Shinigami, the gods of death who watch the living from the unseen corners of existence. It is through the callous amusement or twisted sense of fate that such an instrument finds its way into human hands. Those who wield it gain dominion over life itself, for with but a face and a name, they may command the death of any soul upon whom they pass judgment. The means, the timing, the very nature of a person's final moments, all of it bends to the will of the one who writes within its cursed pages. Yet power of this magnitude does not come without its price. The Death Note is no weapon of righteous retribution, nor does it discern justice from cruelty. It is a tool devoid of morality, guided only by the hand that wields it. And in that truth lies its most insidious nature, for those who use the Death Note, no matter their intent, cannot escape the weight of its influence. Each name written is a step further into the abyss, a tether binding the user to a path from which there is no return. The legends speak of many who have possessed the Death Note, and none who have done so without consequence. Some sought to forge a new world, shaping destiny with their own hand. Others were consumed by paranoia and despair, watching as their own humanity crumbled beneath the burden of divine power. And all, in the end, fell victim to the inescapable fate shared by those who deal in death, the slow, creeping realization that they too are not beyond its reach. For the Death Note is more than an instrument of demise, it is a reflection of the soul that wields it. In its pages are written not just the names of the departed, but the true nature of the one who inscribes them. It does not corrupt, it merely reveals. And once a name is written, once the ink has dried, there is no absolution, only the silence of the inevitable. Thus, the Death Note endures, passed from hand to hand, from age to age, a relic of doom awaiting its next unwitting master. It does not seek, it does not choose. It merely exists, a grim reminder that death is always watching and that, sometimes, it waits for the stroke of a pen. The Death Note is a supernatural notebook with the power to kill anyone whose name is written within it. The exact origin of the Death Note is unclear, but it came from the Shinigami realm, where the gods of death reside. Within this realm, the King Shinigami presents a Death Note to a newborn Shinigami. With their notebook, the gods of death peer into the mortal world and write the names of humans they wish to kill. For each life they claim, their own lifespan increases. Though each Shinigami has their own death note given to them by their king, nothing truly stops them from collecting more. Sometimes, a rogue Shinigami will drop a death note into the mortal world for a human to find. Should someone find a death note, they can use its power. There are rules stated within the death note that provide some restrictions, but the primary rule is as follows. The human whose name is written in this note shall die. This note will not take effect unless the writer has the subject's face in mind when writing his/her name. This is to prevent people who share the name from being affected. More rules are within each death note, but so long as the rules stated are followed, anything is possible. Many throughout history have used a death note, but the most famous is Light Yagami, who used it to terrible effect. Whilst in the mortal world, a Shinigami is invisible to all who have not touched a death note, and they often follow whoever picks it up as they suffer from crippling boredom. Whilst many simply watch and comment, a Shinigami can offer to give the new owner of the death note the eyes of the Shinigami. This special eyesight lets the owner see the names of those they look at as well as their remaining lifespan, though they cannot see that information for other death note users. But the Shinigami do not give this for free, often taking half of the owner's lifespan in exchange. Though the rules are comprehensive, the death note remains one of the deadliest items in existence. It does have drawbacks. The biggest is that whoever uses it cannot go to heaven or hell. Oh, and you're killing people or something. Obviously, anyone who knows about the death note is probably going to want it for one reason or another. And the notebook can be destroyed by fire. Also, if there are other mystical forces at work in the world, the death note loses some of its power. But if the right level of care is taken, the death note can be used to rule the world. Bringing the death note into D&D whilst remaining fair is nearly impossible. So you should think twice before tossing one of these into your setting, just like you would with the deck of many things. Since attaining a death note is impossible without a Shinigami dropping it, any death note is considered an artifact. To try and balance it slightly, this version of the death note is weakened due to the other magical forces at work in most D&D settings. Normally, simply touching the death note lets you use it, but for this version, you have to attune to it. Once attuned, its powers become available to you. The first listed feature is Companion of Death. This lets you see the Shinigami tied to it, along with some basic info about them. No two Shinigami are the same, so you're free to bring in Ryuk, Rem, or your own Shinigami. Speaking of which, they can offer you their eyes, and if you take it, you'll be able to see the true names of those you look at. But now onto the main part. Perish. As an action, you can write the name of a creature. If you want to write the cause of death, it will take at least 2 actions to do so, though the DM can say it takes more if it is a longer cause of death. For anything to happen, the information entered must adhere to the rules of the death note, and knowingly breaking them will instantly kill you. Speaking of the rules, I included some that I think should be in every death note, but more can be added. The rules have been tinkered with ever so slightly to make them better fit a world full of monsters. And in case you're wondering, a random wolf does not have a true name. You're more than welcome to add or remove rules, as some death notes have varying sets of rules. Finally, the death note can be destroyed by burning it, making it one of the easiest artifacts to destroy. But with that, we've reached the end of today's video. Before you head off, I would like to thank you for watching, and I hope you managed to get something out of this. If you feel like helping out, you can become a patron using the link in the description and gaining access to special features. The item page for the Death Note is available on D&D Beyond for free, and the link to it is in the description. I hope you all have a great day, and may your dice roll favourably. Goodbye for now.